Espesinians, how is everyone? Welcome to New Normal Setting of Classes for academic year 2020-2021. I hope everything is well. As a student, you are already expected to do activities that involves communication. You may engage either in formal or informal interaction with various people as long as the purpose of the communication is achieved to convey a message. Today, you will go on board to explore the concept of communication from different dimensions. And for us to have a fully understanding of a concept, a thorough exploration of the nature and its parts will be presented. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to have a clear understanding of the nature of communication and how it really works. You can explain the function, nature, and process of communication. At the same time, differentiate various models of communication. In our lives, it seems impossible if you were not able to engage yourself even on a single conversation, right? Communication has already played a vital role for our survival. It is one of the fulfilling basic necessities that supplements our needs in terms of interpersonal, physiological, spiritual, and intellectual needs. But the question is, do we really understand what is the meaning of communication? There are a lot of definitions of communication, and we narrow them down to major definitions that explains the nature of communication. Communication is a process. It is a systematic interaction of individuals who have their own intention by transmitting feelings, ideas, information, opinion, and thoughts. Communication occurs in different means. Effective communication is about more than just exchanging information. It's about understanding the emotion and intentions behind the information. As well as being able to clearly convey a message, you need to also listen in a way that gains the full meaning of what's being said and makes the other person feel heard and understood. But communication never stops on verbal language. Rather, there are some ways on how an individual can communicate to other person. Some are through text, symbols, facial expression or gesture, and sign language. Communication has its nature that simply defines the whole concept of elements to process. The effective way of communicating begins with the sender, followed by the message that the sender wants to deliver to the receiver. Then the receiver will respond or give a feedback to the sender. So therefore, communication involves different factors before it occurs. There are 8 important elements to achieve the main purpose of communication to convey the message successfully. The first element of communication is the speaker. The speaker is the source of message. He or she begins by first determining the message, what to say and how to say it. The speaker also has some kind of information, a command, request, question, or idea that he or she wants to present to others. The second element of communication is encoding the message. This is the process where information is transferred into a form to be understood by the receiver. The third element of communication is the message or content. This is the key idea that the sender wants to communicate. It is a sign that elicits the response of recipient. Communication process begins with deciding about the message to be conveyed. It must be ensured that the main objective of the message is clear. The fourth element of communication is decoding the message. This is the process of interpreting the message performed by the receiver. It involves being able to ensure that the message, recipient, and messenger are aligned in ensuring maximum comprehension. The fifth element of communication is the receiver. This is the person for whom the message is intended or aimed. The receiver receives the message from the source, analyzing and interpreting the message in ways both intended and unintended by the source. The sixth element of communication is feedback. This is the response made by the receiver. It is also composed of messages the receiver unintentionally and intentionally sends back to the source. It is the receiver's response, and it may demonstrate how well the message was received and the need for clarification. The seventh element of communication is the channel. This is the manner which the message is sent. This can also be looked on as a stage, which is concerned the means of the information goes through the process of transmission. In face-to-face communication, the channel involves all of our senses. So the channel is what we see, hear, touch, smell, and perhaps what we taste. When writing a letter to someone, the channels are the paper and pencil. When we are communicating with someone online, the channel is the computer. When texting, the channel is the cell phone. And when watching a movie on cable, the channel is the TV. It can have a profound impact on the way a message is interpreted. The last element of communication is noise or interference. This is any unwanted form of energy which tends to interfere with proper reception and production of message. It may include anything that occupies your attention while you are hearing or reading a message. Examples might include nice level of education or knowledge, culture, language, diversion, and environment. After identifying the 8 elements of communication process, let us discuss the 3 models of communication. The purpose of model is to offer a visual representation of a concept with the intent of facilitating understanding of it. Traditionally speaking, there are 3 standard models of the communication process, and they are the linear, interactive, and transactional. Each of them offers a slightly different perspective on the communication process. The first model of communication is linear communication, also known as one-way process. It is easy to remember if you think about in terms of a line. A line is straight, typically with a starting point and ending point. In this linear communication model, the communication being put out happens in a straight line, coming from a sender to receiver. Linear communication examples include the president's sauna, a priest who is preaching, a valedictorian speech, a television broadcast, or sending a memo. The second model of communication is interactive communication. This model takes consideration the feedback as an essential element of communication process. Thus, the message in this model originates from 2 sources, the message from the sender and the feedback from the receiver. It now allows for a feedback element because after a message is encoded and sent to the decoding receiver, the roles then reverse and the receiver encodes and sends a response to the original sender, who has now turned receiver. Interactive communication forms include basic dialogue and nonverbal communication, like a patient interaction, a student asking her teacher a question, interactive marketing and public relations, interactive fiction and storytelling, and social media and user-generated content. The third model of communication is transactional communication. This model of communication presents continuous and simultaneous interaction between the sender and the receiver. In this model, receiver and sender can play the same roles simultaneously, as sometimes happens as messages can be sent back and forth simultaneously. It appears chaotic and ineffective, but sometimes communications is just that. Examples of the transactional model include a face-to-face meeting, a husband and wife conversation, a friend's casual conversation, a telephone call, a chat session, interactive training, or a meeting in which all attendees participate by sharing ideas and comments.